Hey, Pepin.
Yo, 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 yo.
I was thinking a lot lately about a thing. It
Ooh.
stands nine feet tall, 500 pounds. The females are slightly larger than the males. They have rubbery moss green hide,
Are we talking about
greenish black hair.
a mythical creature, like a unicorn?
It's very similar to a unicorn.
Is it like a duck?
Yes. We're talking,
Oh my
talking
god,
about a
it's
9
giant
foot tall,
duck.
500-pound duck, Nathan.
That is amazing. I want to ride this duck.
No, wait, what? That's where you go first?
Yeah, I mean, you have like a duck army, and you ride the battle on the duck. It'd be amazing.
Nate, we need to talk. Welcome back. So glad you guys could join us. I am here once again with my best friend Nathan Pepin. How's it going today, Pepin?
Yo, I don't know if I got what you're picking up. I mean, what were you trying to put down in that intro?
Oh, I think you got it completely, and you were following along well because you're a troll.
How dare you, sir? I am offended.
And we have with us today very special guests all the way from Canada, Dropbear and Panda from the Dropbear and Panda Save the World podcast of Destiny. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. We are great. Thank you for having me.
I'm really glad you guys were willing to come on. We went over this before where we were both nominated for the same comedy award for podcasting. Huge honor to be nominated with you guys because you guys are really, really funny.
Oh, thanks. You guys as well. I especially love the trolling that's happening. So good.
And it's so on target for today and just on brand for us in general. So it's great. But let's we can jump right into it. So I know, the internet has coined the phrase troll as far as when someone's doing a thing just to try and elicit a response, usually a negative response. But I think trolling's probably quite a bit older than that. It's probably back to the beginning of, I think it's like an innate, like it's innate in humans to like want to troll other people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that the negative response to trolling is not necessary to it. So a lot of times trolling is negative, like, and it's the response is trying to elicit. A lot of times it's trying to get anger, but sometimes it's just trying to get a reaction. Like you could say that, if you just kind of act a little bit strange or say something kind of weird, you're kind of trolling that person because you're just trying to get that reaction out of them. Like if you make a bad joke, for instance, it's kind of trolling people, like a super bad pun. Like, and that person's not going to enjoy it. You're just kind of you're trolling them. You're trying to get that reaction. Now, you're not doing harm to that person. It's not like they're going to like actually come out of it poorly, but you're still trying to frustrate them a little bit.
Being obnoxious in general.
Yeah.
Are you guys well versed in trolling?
I think we've experienced trolling to some degree or another. I try not to troll. I sometimes troll Panda by using the words fewer and less incorrectly, which drives her crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just for fun.
So she wants you to do that less times?
See,
yes, my people.
But the
thing
nice
you're
thing
on the other side of the.
The nice thing is know that I know it's like what the right thing is, right?
Yes.
Do we?
See,
do you?
And that's why it's trolling, though, because
my brother, who is very anal about how to use those two words correctly. So when I use them incorrectly, he get very upset with me, and it's been ingrained in my soul that when other people use it incorrectly, it also now drives me crazy. So I caught Dropbear a couple times using it incorrectly, and unfortunately I was one of those terrible people that corrected him, and now he just does it on purpose.
So
it frustrates me quite a bit.
I didn't realize until this show that I was a troll. I'm a troll. Wow.
Yeah. I guess there are various levels of trolling, though.
That's true.
And I'm not on the high end of terrible troll like you see running rampant these days.
It's true.
So
in this instance, you would say that Dropbear, you're doing this you're using it improperly. You know it's improper, or maybe you don't care, but maybe you know it's improper, but you just know it kind of gets that reaction, so you do it on purpose.
Yeah, and sometimes I just wait for the reaction. Like I'll drop it and then I'll look and wait, and then she'll give me the side eye. You know, it's good. It's just a game we play.
Right.
It's a game I
love
play.
it. Yeah. Sometimes you also just we sing a lot at the house. Sometimes we're just doing stuff and we sing, but Dropbear has a tendency of he's an all or nothing kind of guy. So yeah.
What are you saying?
He'll put eye contact on me and then just dance and sing. And then I'll be like, okay, that's cool. And then he'll keep going and going and going. And then going some more.
Past the point that it got awkward.
Yeah. And then he'll keep going to hope that it gets funny.
Which it does, inevitably.
Family Guy principle.
Yeah.
Who do you, what about you guys? Are you trolls? Like, what's your relationship with trolling?
Everything Nate's ever said is trolling.
Whoa. Are you trolling me, Meader? Are you trolling? So
maybe.
I would say that I'm definitely more of a natural troll. And I just mean that in the fact that, like, I need entertainment, right? And, like, I get entertainment through just normal conversation and everything. But back in the day, especially, when I'd get bored and I'd be around people who I didn't find that interesting, like, I would just kind of start saying and acting a little bit strange just to get reactions out of them. Like, nothing, like, super out there, but kind of like, this is one example I gave. Like, Meader would come over to my house sometimes and he would like knock on the door, but I'd be there waiting, and before he would knock on the door, I would knock on the door myself, and you know, I'm from the inside of the house, right? And he'd just be kind of like, why? What is this? And
For him to open the door because you're the one who knocked first?
He would, yeah, he would be.
Are you coming in or what? Idiot.
Door.
Hello. That's awesome.
But I do a lot of things like that. I kind of annoy my girlfriend a little bit with kind of trolling, because it's kind of like subtle trolling, kind of like you guys were doing. But you know, like we had this box, so essentially like we have like this shared what do you call it, recyclable bin for the whole apartment complex. And there's this big air conditioner box that we got, so we can't get rid of it for whatever reason. So it's just kind of in the apartment. So I just like start putting random places, and then I started just putting it like in the shower and like other places like this, and you know, just kind of like slightly in nowhere, just trying to get a reaction out of her, essentially. So nothing too bad, but my natural personality is definitely troll, and I've had to tone that down because it doesn't. Doesn't jive with people too much.
It's got.
We had an audio glitch there.
Oh, we did. We thought you were trolling us.
No, it got stuck saying.
It's gonna be the most difficult.
It's got, yeah. Now we're back to the webcam audio, which is okay. I'll pick back up in a second.
We'll just keep pushing through it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's fine. All right, sorry. As you were saying, Panda.
I asked, has it gotten you in trouble a couple times?
Yeah, well, it's been getting me in trouble lately with my girlfriend because I've had this one recurring joke, and she's gotten in on joke too. So it's been like a shared joke where we just have any conversation and insert butt plugs and somehow into the conversation, right? Like just somehow like get it up there, insert it, you know, lube, no lube, however you can do it, right? And she's been getting kind of tired of it. And this is making even more funny for me because when she like, I say it and she gives me like a big long rant about how it's not funny anymore, it makes it hilarious. Like, so I'm trying to like not be a dick, but it's really hard not to be when she like just go like if she just didn't have any reaction, like I'd be like, okay, like I'm not gonna say this anymore because it's not listening to reaction. But she goes on like these like rants, like, okay, hey, honey, this is not funny. This joke is going on for too long. Just stop it. I'm not laughing anymore. This is not good. And it's like this is great. Just give me more of this.
We had I hid before we lived together. I had a jar of glitter that I left in Dropbear's house, and I used to move it around the house all the time so he would never find it. And I convinced him that there was more than one. And for the longest time he found one, but I had convinced him that there was another one in the house.
It's driving me crazy.
He went on for a year being obsessed with the fact that there was glitter in the house, and there wasn't.
Do you guys watch Supernatural?
It was amazing.
Do you know the television show Supernatural?
No idea.
Yes,
No.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, so Jen's sister made her a piece of art with the two Winchester boys.
They're brothers, yeah.
The brothers. They really...
There's fan fiction where they're actually like it's called Wincest.
So from the
Okay.
so she had this picture, this really well done art piece of Wincest of the two guys from Supernatural,
Half naked and cuddling each other.
and every once in a while I'd find it in my underwear drawer, or I'd find it on top shelf in my closet, or like I just start finding this Wincest picture in random places. So I started putting it in random places for her, and it became a whole thing.
3 months, find it under his pillow, and then like a month later, I would find it in my sock drawer.
Yeah.
But that's when we were actually like trolling each other. But one in a while,
it's true.
you kept in your sock drawer.
Hey,
It's still there. I know exactly where
Surprise
it is.
art.
it's art, man. Hey, speaking of art, there's some great trolls in history. Like art
there
history.
are.
So there's
Machiavelli.
when you guys are talking about this, it reminded me of this story in Rome, in a place called Piazza Navona. There's a statue of the four rivers. I forget what it's called in Italian, but you can look this up. And so basically, on the opposite side of the piazza, there's a big building that was so they hired somebody to build it, and there's a bidding war between this guy, I believe it's Berdini, and Bernini. So two guys were competing for this contract to build this building in ancient Rome, and they gave it to Berdini, and Bernini thought that Berdini was the lesser construction guy. So Berdini built this huge structure and put, and at the end, Berdini put, I think, a statue of the Virgin Mary on top to be like, this is how important this building is, and this is, it's high to the heavens and all the rest of it. Bernini ended up getting a contract for a fountain just below it, and he carved a statue of a guy doing this to basically signify that the building was going to fall over at any time.
That's really good.
Talk about trolling, like to a whole nother level.
I think who was it? Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince, and he wrote like a piece that was he gave to the royalty at the time about like how to rule your country, and it was all straight satire, but he wrote it in a way that like people who read it as a common man was like, this is fucking hilarious. Obviously he's taking the piss out of this guy. But the royalty were like, wow, he's writing a great op-ed piece about us. So it was like, it was expert level trolling where they didn't even know they were being trolled, but everyone else knew they were being trolled.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Like expert level.
Probably David, I bet, like had a huge wang, and Michelangelo was like,
listen, he's a grower, not a shower, okay?
autumn days.
One art piece I can think of that was a big troll. It's actually somewhat recent. Is there's this famous painter guy. He made this crazy painting, and his stuff sells for like crazy amounts of money, I guess. And essentially, they're having the auction and everything. And during the auction, what happens is it like the painting kind of drops down to like a shredder. And it's like a shredder built into the frame, I think, and just shreds into like a trash can or something like that.
Yeah, Banksy.
Is that right?
Banksy?
That was Banksy. Yeah, they did a huge auction, and then as soon as it got sold, gavel, bam, is like. But it made it in an expert level troll. It made it that much more valuable because it was then performance piece, right? So it's fucking brilliant.
But what does he now have, like a bunch of shredded pieces that he has to put together, or is he like, great, I have a garbage bin full of paper that's
I mean, it's all the art now. Like, it is a performance piece, like in and of itself, which is
I guess.
Banksy had an art show in New York, so nobody knows who this guy is, right? That's one of the greatest things about Banksy. So he had all of his paintings, like all these originals, on a sidewalk art sale, and he was trying to sell them for like $2 or $10, and people would just walk past him and not buy them. But a couple people actually bought like a nice piece and gave him a compliment, and they bought it for $50. Ends up being like a $500,000 painting that he was just giving away, like just for shits and giggles, right? Just because.
And like I know that there was one recently too about there was an art exhibit, and someone had like put like an apple on the wall or something, and then that was like everyone was like, oh, that's a piece of like art, and then it like sold for like $1 million or something, and it was someone had just like literally put an apple on a wall.
I think it was a banana.
Yeah, it was the banana. That's what
banana.
it was.
Yeah.
It's like that wasn't meant to be art. It was just it's someone taking the piss, but it ended up, that is art to some degree, right?
It transcends.
Exactly.
No
I
kidding.
think trolls, Penn and Teller, expert level trolls. They released that video game Desert Bus, which is literally you drive in real time a bus from like New Mexico to California or Las Vegas or whatever.
What?
And that's the whole
It's a game?
It's on Atari.
What?
I love it.
It's a whole little suite of games, and that's kind of one of the infamous ones in there. There's a couple others that are kind of similar where they're just very, very boring. And that one's kind of interesting because they made these games in opposition to this whole media nonsense about video games causing violence and being dangerous and, X, Y, and Z. And they're like, we can make video games boring by making them look real life. So this game, Desert Bus, they tried to make it as boring and realistic as possible. So essentially just driving a straight line the whole way. And the thing is, like, it veers off to the side. So you have to actually, like, keep your, finger on the joystick, to kind of get it over to the side. And if you, it's also varying amounts. So you can't just keep it, like tape something in place. You have to actually, do varying amounts to get it to work because it kind of veers off to the side. And then I think there's a part where you might actually break down inside a road and have to get a pit stop and go all the way back. It's something crazy like that.
Oh my God.
If you veer off the side, then a tow truck comes and tows you back in real time. So if you just traveled for an hour, it is now real time towing you back an hour.
Oh my God.
And if you make it all the way to Las Vegas, you get 1 point. It's like an 8-hour drive.
Oh, I love it.
In real time.
That's the best.
And the only thing that actually happens is once in a while a bug will slide on the windshield. That's it.
Oh, that's so good.
Otherwise, you're just driving in the desert.
And
I would buy that game.
Yeah. There's like VR games now where you just like flipping burgers.
Yeah.
Something. You're like a prep cook at a restaurant, and that's all you do.
Or Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because a new one just came out, right?
Flight
and it's like hyper realistic.
Than
ridiculous.
Than like making sandwiches.
Yeah.
You could just work at sandwich place and actually make real money instead of doing it.
Yeah, but the real world IRL is so lame.
Yeah, right. But I think it's interesting that something that was a troll back then of like this realistic, hyper realistic, like driving simulator. Now people are actually doing that with Flight Simulator, and like it's one of the best selling games this year.
True,
So
but
people love it.
you can fly anywhere, right? You don't have to stick on the road. You don't get towed back in your airplane.
Mhm.
Simulator
That's true.
thing though.
Well,
But-
I think yeah, because it's so like you could almost get your pilot's license with hours in the cockpit, right? Like it matters.
I think there's an extra level of complexity there as well, because with the Penn and Teller game, you're just driving straight, and it's pretty much just like one control that you're kind of dealing with, just in the left and right. But in the case of the Flight Simulator game, there's like many different aspects you have to kind of get in line to do it. Which makes it challenging, because I think a big part of, say, video games and entertainment in general is kind of that challenge to it. And without the challenge, you don't feel engaged. And
Right.
it's kind of an issue with driving in general. Like driving is kind of boring a lot of times because it's not challenging, because it's so easy.
Did you guys see you probably didn't see this news, but up here in Calgary recently, a guy was pulled over by the RCMP, like the police service, for sleeping in his Tesla driving down the highway.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now
They've been expecting that though, haven't they? That's what people are going to do
Yeah,
while their car's driving itself.
Yeah, so a guy did.
Yeah.
I think what they said was when the Tesla knew that the cops were after them, it actually sped up to 150 kilometers an hour. So it actually drove faster when the cops started chasing them.
Oh, it's so good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
so
Now that's some good AI. Thank you, Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So
actually
here in Alberta, until you get to the foothills and the mountains are very straight. So, I mean, if you're gonna drive a Tesla and fall asleep,
Who's your favorite troll?
probably me.
Annie DeVito.
Did you say you are your favorite troll?
Yeah, I'm my favorite.
His own favorite troll.
Danny DeVito's pretty good. Honestly, maybe not my favorite troll, but I kind of like Jim Carrey as a troll. Like, he's just terrible, but like when he gets onto like movies and he like does this character acting, like he just pisses off everybody in the movie. Like he just makes them like so pissed off. And of course he's saying he's doing it for like I'm doing it for the story. I'm doing it to really get into the character, but really he's just trying to like piss people off.
so is there a difference between a practical joker and a troll?
So I think a troll is, how do you say? Because I think they're kind of related. I think a joke's more like one punchline, and a troll is more like a ongoing, continuous thing. Like I think they can be kind of considered the same. Like, for instance, would you guys like say back and forth with keeping like that photo or that picture that you were kind of hiding?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a practical joke in a way, but it's also a troll too. So it's kind of a bit of both. But I think you can have something which is just clearly a practical joke that's not trolling, and it's a little bit different. And you can also have a troll that's not really a practical joke. Like, I trolled this one lady. This was really bad, but there was one of my colleagues.
Can't wait.
She was from Indonesia, and so she spoke Indonesian. That's probably a different name for it, but I would be trying to learn different Indonesian phrases. So I asked her, how do you say what in Indonesian? She says, apa. Oh, what does that mean? What? No, what does it mean? What? No, what does apa
the old
mean?
Abbott and Costello.
Who's on first?
And we went through that for like 3 to 5
trolling.
minutes, and she did not catch on. She just was like, thought there was something lost in confusion, and I just kept going and going and going.
She just wanted to help, you dick.
So that's definitely a troll. That's a pure troll.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a practical joke there, right?
No.
No,
But
that's true.
I think you can get a bit of both, though, because like in your instance, it's probably a bit of both, but in my instance, it's definitely pure troll.
I wonder if pure trolling it's just about your enjoyment. Like that's got to be sort of the standard, is that if it's all about you, the troll, and your enjoyment of what you're creating, that's pure troll.
Mm-hmm.
If you share the joy, then that's
Does there have to be a level of frustration from the trollee in order to have it be considered a troll versus a joke? Whereas like a joke, you could both be in on it.
Probably.
That kind of sounds right.
What's
That's a little bit iffy though, because I think a person who gets trolled might. I mean, there's a frustration there, but it's kind of the same with a prank. But like, for instance, with that pill picture thing, like, you know, there's a little bit of frustration there, but it's also kind of like a joke too. So I don't know. I don't think it's necessary, but maybe.
Do you find it difficult to not feed trolls?
No. Not unless I'm trying to troll a troll.
Right. And so that's sort of next level trolling too. If you can somehow flip it so you trolled a troll, like you should get a point. You should get 1 point.
Pretending you don't understand is a good one. To be like, they're trying to make you think that like they think something that they think is going to elicit a response. And then I'm like, wait, no, I don't understand. Could you explain better? And like force them to expound upon this thing that they're just saying.
Oh, that's the next level shit.
It really pisses them off. You're like, oh, could you explain that? What do you mean by that? Like being super understanding.
Ugh, gross.
Trolls hate patience. Patience is the vegetable of the troll world.
Meader trolled me the other week. Him and Fishstick from I don't know radio. They trolled me because I was trying to like get a different topic like suggested, and I said I don't know what I said exactly. But I came up with some sort of topic, and they both purposely misunderstood the topic I was suggesting and started talking about something else. And just started going on this dilute, right? That obviously was going nowhere, and they kept on talking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great topic idea, Nate. And I'm like, God damn it, let's get on the and they were doing just to piss me off, which it worked. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Epic. What's the difference between a troll and an ogre? I'm flipping the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An ogre's green?
I think it's size.
Size, yeah.
Well, I mean that yes, and I think ogres might be too. Ogre versus troll.
Well, I'm assuming in the fantasy world, trolls are bad.
Aren't ogres also bad?
Yeah, but I'm assuming that's where the word troll came from.
Oh, from the Billy Goat's gruff. It was a troll under the bridge that was, messing with the goats. Mm-hmm. That's where it came from.
Difference between .net. That sounds like a reliable source.
You're asking all the hard line questions here, Dropbear.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, here's the difference. Ogres are French and trolls are Scandinavian.
Oh, of course. They have the umlaut or the crossed out O.
Trolls are depicted to change to stone in the sunlight. Huh.
Great.
Oh.
Trolls could be reasoned with and may or may not feed on humans. Ogres were considered unreasonable and murderous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because like in my D&D campaigns, I have trolls as bad guys and ogres as good guys, but well, actually, no, I think I have both as bad and I have orcs as good.
Oh, what's the difference between an orc and an ogre and a troll? How does that work?
Yeah, because an orc is humanoid, like it's like a human goblin cross, kind of.
This is beyond my understanding.
We just started D&D recently.
Yeah, we just
played one game.
Awesome.
Yeah, I played a lot when I was a kid, like younger. Yeah, but I hadn't played in like 30, 40 years. No, that's way too long. 30 years.
D&D is a really good place to troll because you can troll the DM or the DM can troll you. So there's a lot of freedom there to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's super fun to just play with the characters and decide give them backstories and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I'm gonna add.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
I have a campaign that I run with two different groups, and it's the same campaign that I wrote. And one group plays it like super serious, and they're into their characters. We have entire sessions sometimes where it's just RP. It's just role play the whole session. Like they don't end up battling anything.
Wow.
Because they're actually in their characters. Yeah. And then the other group, they troll me so hard because they know like I'm trying to force them to go to like this is the next place they need to go, and then they're like they end up just like murder hoboing and killing like people and causing all these issues, and it's like so the two campaigns, though they're the same story, are very different because of the whether they troll or not as characters.
Can we unpack a phrase that you just dropped called murder hoboing? What is that?
That's where you don't have a home because you murder everybody you see, pretty much. So some D&D people, like when they go into a town, they'll be like, I want to go to a shop. I'm like, okay, you walk in and the guy greets you. You're like, okay. And they try and haggle and the guy doesn't want to haggle. So he's like, okay, I kill him.
Oh my God.
And they kill him and steal all his stuff, which can happen in D&D, like, because you can do anything. Sometimes the party will just choose to go around and kill everybody.
Wow. Holy shit.
That's what they like doing. I'm personally not a big fan of that because I think it takes away any ability for a DM to tell a story.
Yeah.
But some people don't want to play for a story.
It's kind of the equivalent to if you've ever played Skyrim or Oblivion or any kind of open world RPG. You just go around and just kill the whole town and just kill everyone you see. It's kind of the same concept.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
Oh, well, it's fun. It's fun. Trust me.
Oh, I see what campaign you're in now.
He's in neither. He doesn't play. He's not in any of my D&D campaigns.
Oh.
Well, if he was, I know what he'd do.
And what character he'd be.
I actually am in one of your campaigns. Did you forget?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I'm that guy who is, the hero of the whole story, right? He does all the things, right?
No.
Yes.
This is good improv when I go, no.
You're blocking
hard no.
Unless Meader's video is not very good right now. He is a solid
I'm not
picture. Either that or he's holding a pose.
I don't want to leave because I don't want Craigbot to accidentally stop recording. So I'm just gonna leave me on that, and maybe it'll pop back in someday.
Yeah, eventually. It's cool. Meader, I think that you are a bit more of a troll than you would account for, and I think you kind of like me used to be more of a troll back in the day. I think it's one reason why we kind of bonded is we're both kind of trolls, and I think something that stuck out to me is that you've always had this kind of mentality where you'll kind of do things for your own enjoyment. Like, you will look for something just because you find it funny. You don't care if other people find it funny. As long as you find it funny, that's what counts. And I think that's one thing that's kind of interesting. Would you be able to expand upon that, or at least say I'm making stuff up?
I mean, I used to be way more. Like, high school is really bad. It's like embarrassingly bad, where I would do a drop bear and just take a joke like way too far.
Do a drop bear.
Like weeks and weeks and weeks of the same joke, to the point where people would yell at me like, this is not funny anymore. But it would get increasingly funnier for me.
Yeah.
Not for them though. It'd be more and more frustrating for them. So I used to drive those so far into the dirt. It's embarrassing. But I don't do that good. Own greater good.
You're doing it for the greater good. Eventually they'll see the humor. Or they won't. In which case
I love how Panda's just glaring, just kind of like
kind of her natural state.
Yeah.
Now,
but I used to do that a lot more. I don't do that as much anymore.
Well, to be fair, every time you get on this podcast with your brothers, like either one, it's just trolling back and forth. You guys just, I mean, it's mostly you trying to troll your brothers, but your brothers try trolling you back, and it's so painful to be in that conversation, because it's just like you just take the joke, you beat it to death, you beat that dead horse, you beat the horse's horse, and then it just never stops.
Yeah, I mean, that's family though, right?
Yeah.
It's generational.
It's just nonstop.
Trolling over generations takes commitment.
You just drive that very, very, very as hard as possible. It's like almost a competition at that point, where you're like, who's gonna make the last awful joke along that same line?
Yeah. I think.
Have you guys ever found the line?
I don't think Meader has. Meader and his brother, in this one podcast, they just kept on going. Meader was going a lot more hardcore in this, but he took that joke in this. He was never going to stop. It was a competition. And I honestly think he gets that from his sister, because his sister is on a whole other level. Sasha, who's also been on our podcast, like Sasha she has like, I don't want to say she has no shame, but she will she will take a joke and just Meader's dying.
It's also hilarious as I can't see him dying.
He's just frozen.
But
Oh my god, that's funny.
Sasha will just take it to complete completion. There's actually times, I think she's more of a troll than you are, Meader, but like I remember a couple of times in Walmart where we were shopping for whatever reason, and she would she would do these things just to kind of like things that were not socially acceptable to kind of embarrass you. I forget what they were exactly. You recall anything?
She is very, very good at. I mean, she's an older sister, so she's just really good at at getting me embarrassed, or used to be. But she beat all the shame out of me too. So, she used to do like.
I was just gonna say, where are you in the family siblings lineage? You like a middle child or a youngest child, or
3 older and 3 younger?
He's a middle child.
So exactly in the middle.
Me too.
She used to go to we'd be in a store, and she would just randomly while we're walking down an aisle start like talking very loudly or even yelling in a small store and be like, "No, Steve, Mom says we can't buy you diapers this week because we got to get milk. That's what we're here. No, we're not getting you diapers. Go it like a big boy." And I was like 13 or 14.
She's awesome.
Just, it's normal sister trying to embarrass you stuff.
Sasha, you are a princess. You're amazing. You're a queen, a goddess. Keep that shit up.
Sounds like something your sons would do to you.
It's true. Dad, we don't want Dad, get diapers. I don't know. But yeah, my kids troll me all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, you're back.
There we go. I fixed it. We're good.
So your kids troll you all the time?
Oh yeah, they're relentless.
How do they do it?
Oh God, I couldn't even begin to tell you how. Like they just know how to push my buttons. Like, yeah.
They don't take no for an answer on purpose, I think.
Yeah,
just to tick you off.
A lot of times it's just you see, how far the vein can come out of my forehead. But I mean, like they're older, right? Like they're in their 20s, and they just know.
Mm-hmm.
And they also know,
and that's
when they push it too far, they're like, oh, okay, hold on. There was the line, so we found it. And sometimes it's just, finding the line is important.
That's the true sign of family, knowing exactly how to push somebody's buttons and then when to stop. And then going one more.
Yeah. Just that little,
it's just that one more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your line is pretty far. Like your line is way past a lot of other people's lines.
Yeah, well, we've seen some shit. We've been in the shit.
Yeah.
There's one. See, the thing is that gets me trolled the most is when people are unclear whether they're trolling me or not. Because like this happens to me with my girlfriend. Because my girlfriend, she doesn't know about certain things, but then sometimes like she will pretend like she doesn't understand what's being talked about, just to troll me, right? So sometimes I'm unclear. Like, do you really not know about this, or are you trolling me right now? Like I don't know. There might be some movie that we watch or some show, and it's just kind of was like I do that to people a lot too. Like sometimes I act like I don't know who people are. Like for instance, I used to work at a coffee shop, and people would be like, "Oh yeah," and then Joe said this, and Joe's someone who I work with. I'm like, "Who's Joe? Who's Joe again?"
Joe who?
And then I'd go through the whole thing for a couple minutes, like, you know who Joe is? No, I really don't. Like, describe how they look. And then I get to describe how they look. And just go through the whole rigmarole. And they're like, wait, no, you've hung out with Joe before. I'm like, have I? When?
That's when you say, no, Joe died like 2 years ago. You're still seeing him? Next level. Make people really question their sanity.
Joeception.
Joeception. Yeah.
Another
Yeah,
good,
you're definitely what I would consider a troll. I'd be like, I don't know if I would have patience for that.
another way I troll
I'd be
people.
like, I'm out.
Well, sometimes Panda will get me to explain things
Mhm.
and then flip the script and, say that I'm mansplaining after
What?
she had asked me to explain stuff.
Stop it.
Do you want me to
This-
explain what I mean?
Oh. But it's all good-natured fun.
Another great way to troll people is to, let's say that you're talking about something that you know a lot about. Let's say you're talking to someone, I don't know, for me it would be computers, but you're talking to somebody about that, but you act like you don't know much of anything. So, but you act like you know something, right? So you're bringing little pieces of knowledge and you kind of get certain things a little wrong and you just kind of just troll that person to kind of let you to explain these things. Like they go through this whole cycle. Like you talk about like RAM and CPU timing and all this kind of stuff and you talk about one thing that's way off and they're like, what? I don't get your, no, that's not how it works. And they just get you to this, just kind of like, okay, well, like you just really confuse them. And that's the kind of trolling. If you don't reveal it, like you can get so much like milking out of that because this person legitimately thinks you don't understand what they're talking about, and they're trying to have a conversation, trying to explain things to you, and you just make it even worse because you just are like, oh well, what about like this? And they're like, no, that's not a, and that's all for your entertainment. You don't. That's a troll that does not reveal themselves.
Oh, like so there's like what would you call that? Like it's kind of like a ninja troll, like a
Ninja troll. That's it.
Well, we've seen like some pretty high class trolling from like Jimmy Fallon in the political sense there on the street, but a number of years ago, and we love you guys, and there's no reason why this shouldn't come up now or possibly could. We have a political show up here in Canada that came out quite some time ago, and there was a section of it called Talking to Americans. We love you. Mm-hmm. But they would go down to the States and bring up all these stereotypes about Canadians. Mm-hmm. And in the end, they would end up having Americans say, "Congratulations, Canada, on finally getting electricity," and that kind of stuff. And they would be trolling these Americans about all these terrible stereotypes about Canada, which would be hilarious, but also wouldn't help Canada at all because everyone assumed that we still live in, the Arctic tundra and ride moose to work. And
well, that is true. We do ride moose to work. That's 100%
How do you get
true.
How do you get up on a moose?
Well, a step ladder.
They're so tall.
Or your house, on top of your
A
house.
step ladder?
Yeah, sometimes we just use like snowstones from our igloos.
Yeah.
But,
Do you bareback a moose?
Oh, yeah. 100% you bareback a moose. Don't put a saddle on that
moose
shit.
saddle?
No saddle.
Just grip the hair and just go.
They got
Grip
super
the hair
Canadian.
and just go. If I had a nickel.
And just go. That was such a good pronunciation.
Just grip the hair and go.
I'm just... It's cool.
That was very, very good. So are there Canadian spurs?
There's Canadian what?
Spurs? Like for your shoes
like
to make the moose go?
Spurs. Yeah, you're talking about moose spurs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The moose spurs are a lot larger. They're the size of dinner plates.
And in the shape of a maple leaf?
Yeah. Oh,
they're very pointy.
Yeah,
yes.
You've seen them, obviously.
Yeah, I'm from Maine. That's part of Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost Canada.
Basically.
We call it nearly Canada.
I've been asked many times when I've said I'm from Maine. People are like, "Oh, wait, isn't that part of Canada?" I'm like, "You are an American. This is unexcusable."
I was having a pint on a patio one day downtown Calgary, and it's summertime. It's August, and I don't presume you guys know a lot about Canada or Calgary, but it's sunny. Like it's summertime. It's plus 30.
Yeah, August, summertime.
Yeah. Plus, so whatever 30 degrees Celsius is in Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's hot.
70, 80. I don't know.
Something like that.
Sure.
Guys show up in a truck in the back of their truck are 2 snowmobiles, right? So, and their plates are from Texas, and they lean out, and he's just like, "How far to the snow line?"
Yeah, it's a good question.
And I'm like, how far is it? So, about 1,000 kilometers north.
You didn't troll him, or did you actually?
No, I was legit. I didn't troll him at all. I didn't fuck with him. Like, yeah, I felt bad. They drove a long ways to get to the snow line, and they're maybe halfway.
You just go across that Arctic Ocean, and you're good.
Yeah. Go up to the Arctic Circle, and even then, like.
But I don't know whether because I had said 1,000 kilometers, he probably thought that was just a mile down the road. I don't know. I don't even understand conversion.
And I mean, it's a line. So, I mean, there's like nothing but green grass, and then the line hits, and then it's nothing but snow.
The snow line.
Yeah.
We see it on a map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like right there.
You hit that and it's nothing but snow after that.
That's right. Snow and moose everywhere you go.
Wait,
You can't throw a nickel without hitting a moose.
is that true?
Oh, yeah.
A Canadian nickel?
Yeah. Yeah.
We also don't.
Isn't it a loony or a toonie or some shit?
Oh, we got toonies. Yeah. Lots of toonies
Oh, I think I in my purse actually.
and loonies. Yeah.
Loonies.
Metal
guys not-
money is
Have you
great.
guys not gotten rid of those things yet?
No, they're the best.
We got rid
Their
of penny.
coins?
Yeah, we got rid of the penny. Penny's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our money is colored and washable.
Yeah,
It's made of
you
plastic.
can now launder it directly.
Smells like maple syrup.
Yep. For those who don't know, Canadian money like is really nice. Like it's super hard to like rip and tear. I used to work at a bank, and we'd get Canadian money in sometimes, and I actually prefer it over like American money because like you don't have to worry about it going through the wash as much.
Well, and you can tap a tree with it if you roll it up nice and tight. You just right in the side of a tree.
Is that why it smells like maple syrup?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a
Scratch and sniff.
Yeah, there it is.
See, the last time I was in the States, it was very frustrating because I would have money in my wallet, and then I would have to pull it all out to figure out which bills I was pulling out because it's all the same color.
We got mugged a lot.
Our American money scratch and sniff too, but it doesn't smell like maple syrup. It smells like oppression.
Oh, I thought it smelled like cocaine.
Where have you been in America?
Money's great.
Which
Gotta
strip
smell
clubs
more of
have
that
you been to?
cocaine.
Where's the snow line?
Where's that snow line?
Where is?
Oh man,
Yeah.
good times. So that's trolling.
Troll. Yeah.
But
If we-
go ahead.
No, I got nothing.
Oh,
I was gonna-
It's true.
Don't copy me. That was my gig.
There's one comedian who does a really crazy job trolling, and it's Norm Macdonald. His whole gig in like kind of like act is kind of trolling the audience and trolling people. Also, there's a couple other people too. Andy Kaufman, he was a big troll
Oh yeah.
because essentially all he would do is like he had meta jokes, right? And okay, so I don't know how much people know about Andy Kaufman, but he had this one character. I forget his name. This one character. It was almost like a fat Elvis type guy. And just sing terribly and just go out there. And there was this Andy Kaufman dressed up as this other guy. But the whole thing is Andy never said he was that guy. And whenever people would ask him, he would always deny that he was this guy, although it was pretty obvious. And so the whole troll thing was he had this fake show act with this guy, and he would just deny he was that guy. And that is such a good troll. Because it doesn't even matter, number one. But number two, it's the whole just pretending like he's not this person, this whole big secret and everything. That is just amazing.
That's so good.
Well, Sacha Baron did an entire movie, Borat.
Oh, yeah.
And that was an entire troll, right? Wasn't it?
I think so.
Troll, I think.
Yeah, Borat.
Yeah, that takes commitment.
It's a long game.
Ah, no kidding.
Borat's a weird.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Andy Kaufman, but
you should look.
he was brilliant. Yeah.
Look into him. He is amazing. Like he would troll the audience a lot too. Like he had this one bit where like people were booing him because he's just making these bad jokes because he wasn't like that funny. He's more like a entertainer than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was he would just get the audience kind of like booing at him, and then he would pretend like he would start crying, but the audience would actually think he would start crying, kind of going this, and he started like going to like a musical act, like he'd start crying, and start just singing and kind of like doing stuff with it, and the audiences didn't know how to react.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
I think he had and I'm going to get the details of this wrong, but the concept will remain. He had like a TV special thing that he did, and in it, he had it so that like it would like flicker and like go to a little bit of fuzz in the middle of it so that, and they wanted to cut that piece. And he's like, no, that's the whole point. He's like, I want people to get up and start like hitting their TV and trying to adjust it. But that was baked into like the thing itself. His whole existence was just to troll people.
That's next level.
He was Taxi, right?
What's that?
Yes.
Taxi?
Yep.
The show. Okay, that's the only, I think that's the only thing that I know him from. I've never seen any of his other stuff, but I should look into that for sure. Jim Carrey played him.
Yeah.
Yep. In Man and Moon.
Right. Okay.
And that's where he drove people crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And Norm Macdonald's another troll because he kind of frustrates people by having these jokes that kind of go nowhere, or the punchline of the joke is just very, very unsatisfying for the whole story he told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very well known for that.
What?
It's like a knock-knock
God.
joke that he drags out for like 10 straight minutes. He did that on talk shows all the time.
Steve Martin was really good at that in his writing. I remember he had a book that he published. It was probably back in the 80s or whatever. There's like pages upon pages about this guy who smokes, and about the pleasure that he got from smoking and how he smoked and the different ways that he smoked, and it just went on for pages and pages and pages. And I want to say the last sentence is, and then his lips fell off. And it was like you just spent all this time reading about this smoker only to have his lips fall off. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Andy Kaufman's definitely the most, like, the original troll. I think he's kind of the troll that the internet kind of looks up to, or kind of maybe not looks up to, but he's kind of like the inspiration in general. It's like I found out about him and like a little bit late, and it's like, yeah, this makes sense. Like what he's doing, it's high level, and kind of like what Norm Macdonald does is why the troll is enjoyable there is because you're kind of in on the action of him trolling other people, right?
Right.
Because like you get enjoyment out of it because he's trolling this person, and then you see that person's frustration. Like if you watch Norm do the very long joke on Conan's just kind of like, okay, where are we going with this? Come on. And he's just trying to get the story along because he's trying to fill time and kind of get audience engagement. But then the people who like Norm like it because Conan's getting frustrated and kind of just needing to get something out of this.
That's awesome. Well, you guys have opened my eyes to the idea that maybe trolls are fun to watch. They're an entertainment device. It's I've spent most of my life thinking that people that are trolling on the internet are bad, when in fact they're doing a bit of a service. They're showing us maybe the foibles and fallacies of our frail human existence.
Yeah.
There's a line with trolls, though. I mean, there's trolling, and then there's the whole next level of the internet trolls where they're actually out to embarrass and like almost ruin somebody.
There is that
on the internet, right? So there's
certainly,
because honestly, like when I think of like internet trolls, I think of really, really awful, terrible stuff. So there's different levels of,
it's true,
trolls, right? So
yeah,
I'm all about the fun trolls.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the harmful trolls, kind of like dark trolls, but
like that.
But if you're like just a fun troll or just kind of just doing it for fun, I think that's fine. Like if you ever watch Joe Rogan videos, like, or look at the comments on YouTube, all the comments are going to be like trolly comments, like Joe blah 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 DMT Rogan, right? So that's one of the big memes, and it's kind of just a troll, right? But it's fine. It's harmless. It's just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But start getting into like trolling comments where you're just trying to, I don't know, like it's almost like a mean prank. Like those are like I don't know. You spray this, here's an example. Maybe you wrap this whole person's car in duct tape. Like, I guess that's funny, but that's going to take a lot of work. It might do damage to the paint, blah blah blah. That's a harmful prank. In the same way, you can have harmful trolling.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and you don't humiliate somebody, and but
And kind of like Meader was saying, like you want to kind of find that line with people, and every person has their different line, so you want to make sure you kind of stay within that. And internet is really hard to do with, but I like the fun side of trolling. I'm not a bad troll. I can't say. I'm more just a confusion troll. I just get people confused.
Confusion troll. I like that there's different types of trolls. A dark troll, confusion troll, whimsical troll.
Meader's the kind of troll that will get into a conversation for like an hour that will go nowhere.
No, that's you.
I'll
Bud.
spend.
What? No, I don't do that.
You definitely do that.
Okay, name one time I've done that.
The podcast with Fish Stick where you had one fact about audio and it was like a 40-minute fact.
Well,
It ended up being like stadiums are the iPods of the past.
okay. So first of all, that point was amazing. Second of all, it's true. It is true.
We've often said that up here that stadiums are the iPods of history.
It's true. I mean, back in the day, you had to go to a stadium to listen to Baha Men or whatever.
Who?
They did that song about the dogs. I think that's another fun way of trolling is when someone asks for clarification, so you clarify, but in a very vague way. Nate's very good at that. It's like, who's the Baha Men? They had that one song. Okay, which song? The one about the dogs. Okay. There were dogs and there weren't dogs because they were somewhere else. Who let the dogs out?
How many dogs were there?
I love
Or
that
asking
song about the love song about the band,
Oh, yeah.
and the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, the Beatles.
My favorite. And if you don't know that song, then you're obviously an idiot. So
Yeah.
So
the one.
in the Beatles, there's that person that died, right? It was Ringo, right? He was shot.
I think Ringo's the only one left alive.
Don't you even know? You're not supposed to say his name.
If you say it 3 times, he'll show up.
Say it 3 times in front of the mirror. Ringo. I play the drums.
He'll show up out of suddenly an octopus garden will pop in behind you.
That's right.
Oh, that song
Well-
is the
Oh,
best.
I think that'd be amazing. I'd
That's
love to
right.
see an octopus
I'm now in a
garden.
yellow submarine. What the fuck is happening?
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and trolling with us for a little while.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's one of my favorite types of fishing. We didn't even get into that.
Oh, damn. It's true.
Man, there's so
Next
many
time.
layers. So exactly. I think that means we're just gonna have to have you guys back on.
Done.
Well, we'll have to have you on ours too. We'll have to figure that out at some point.
And
I-
maybe we'll get a bot. You don't know.
I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. It's
Yeah.
very exciting.
It'll be a moose.
It'll be a moose bot.
Moose bot named Greg.
We're gonna petition for a new name.
Mhm.
Not that Greg isn't awesome. You're great, Greg. It's whatever.
Are you trolling my
I'm
bot?
trolling your bot.
Well,
Thanks,
Drop
guys.
Bear and Panda podcast, Drop Bear and Panda Save the World podcast. And wherever you guys listen, highly suggested. You guys are a lot of fun, really funny, and it's really an entertaining and just a nice podcast to listen to. So thank you guys for the content you create, and best of luck in the awards coming up.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you as
too.
well.
Bye, guys.
Thanks so much. See ya. Nathan, do you believe in trolls, like real troll?
Well, I think my primary question here is, what is a troll? How would you define it?
Well, it's got to have a big club.
Okay, and what's important about the club? Is it have to be like wood, or is it metal, or is it made of steel?
Wood.
Okay, and what do you do with this wood?
Oh. We need to talk.